bumpers always bounce back. Rubber baby buggy bumpers always bounce back. Rubber baby buggy bumpers always bounce back. Unique New York. 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 Tag, you're it.
Hang on a minute. You're obviously here for the audition.
Yeah, you too, of course.
Yeah. What's your name?
Jenny Tracy. What's yours?
Matty Ross. Looks like we got here early. 10 minutes to go. What is it you like about acting?
It's more than like. I love it.
What do you love about it?
The more roles I play, the more I learn about myself. I used to think I was one thing, one predictable person, but now I've learned I'm so much more than that. I can be what I like to call a shapeshifter. Every role I play becomes another part of myself, and somehow they're all a part of who I am.
I like that. That's like something I read from that 19th century Russian director, Konstantin Stanislavski.
The Americans call it method acting.
I love acting too. I just feel like there's so much to learn and explore about myself. But I guess the bottom line is that it has to be real, more than just pretending or doing something stylized, mechanical.
Yes, exactly. Hey, what they ask you to prepare?
Something from Shakespeare, something from Chekhov, an absurdist piece from Ionesco, something comical, and a song.
There's no business like show business?
Right.
Nice. Which Shakespeare did you learn?
Romeo and Juliet, the balcony scene.
Me too, they might pair us up. Shall we try it?
Now?
Why not?
Okay, so you're on a balcony, so you can stand on this box here.
Okay.
But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon who is already sick and pale with grief. See how she leans her cheek upon that hand? Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay, me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night being o'er my head as is a winged messenger of heaven.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
This won't work.
What, the acting?
No, the Shakespearean language. It seems so outdated.
It's what they call classical.
People just don't talk like that.
I don't think that's the point. It's supposed to be poetic.
I don't know. I can't relate to it.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. That's beautiful. It's not for nothing. They call Shakespeare's works masterpieces. Anyway, you're going to have to go through the motions if you want to do well in the audition.
But we're not auditioning for a Shakespeare play. I was told it's for an original play. Avant-garde.
I guess they just want to test our range. What'd you learn from Chekhov?
Something from The Seagull. The character Dorn giving advice to Trepia, a novice writer. And another thing. In anything you write, there must be a clear and definite thought. If you go down the picturesque path that has no definite goal at the end of it, then you'll lose your way, and your talent will destroy you. See? I much prefer prose to Shakespearean iambic pentametry.
They call Chekhov the first modern playwright, then, okay? Okay, I learned this from Anna from The Seagull. It's part of a play within a play. And this one universal world soul is me. Me. In me are the souls of Alexander the Great, of Caesar, of Shakespeare, of Napoleon, and of the least of leeches. In me, the consciousness of human beings has merged with the instincts of animals. All do I remember, and every life I live again, in my own self. What do you think?
Yeah, you had some feeling there, but I think the real challenge is when we do a dialogue, because there's tension between the characters.
Did you get that scene from Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Yeah, I learned it.
Where'd you learn it up to?
Up to the part where Martha says, "Nobody's asking you to remember every goddamn Warner Brothers epic.
Nice. Let's try it out.
Okay, so it's the opening of the play. George and Martha, a middle-aged couple, they're getting home from a night out. It's quite late, and they've had a bit to drink, right?
Jesus Christ!
For God's sake, Martha, it's 2 o'clock in that.
George.
Well, I'm sorry, but...
What a cluck. What a cluck you are.
It's late, you know? Late.
What a dump. Hey, what's that from? What's a dump?
How would I know what?
Oh, come on, you know. What's it from?
Martha!
What's it from, for Christ's sake?
What's what from?
I just told you. I just did it. What's a dump? Come on, what's that from?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Dumbbell. It's from some goddamn Betty Davis picture. Some goddamn Warner Brothers epic.
I can't remember all the pictures.
Nobody's asking you to remember every goddamn Warner Brothers epic.
No, but it had some sparks flying there. Edward Albee was good.
You know, I was reading that book by the theater director Peter Brook called The Empty Space. There's this one chapter in it called The Deadly Theatre. I do not want to get stuck in that trap.
A really good director wouldn't allow for that.
Well, it kind of depends on the material, doesn't it?
I don't know. I think any material can be brought to life as long as there's some substance to it. Peter Brook, I'll never forget his opening quote from An Empty Space. He said, "I can take an empty space and call it a bare stage. A person walks across this empty space while someone else is watching them, and that's all that's needed for an act of theatre to be engaged."
I guess that's where it all starts. A space, a movement. Hey, do you like Theatre of the Absurd? I was asked to learn this dialogue between Mr. and Mrs. Martin from The Ballad Soprano by Ionesco.
It's different for sure. I played Mr. Martin last year.
Great, let's try out the end of the scene. Okay, so we've been talking about a series of coincidences about having been on the same carriage of a train, but we don't recognize each other, and then we talk about where we live. Action!
I reside at number 19, my dear lady.
How curious that is. I too live at number 19, dear sir.
Well then, well then, well then, well then. Perhaps we have seen each other in that house, dear lady.
It is indeed possible, but I do not recall it, dear sir.
My flat is on the 5th floor, number 8, dear lady.
Curious that is. Good Lord, how bizarre! And what a coincidence. I too live on the 5th floor, flat number 8, dear sir.
How bizarre! Curious! Strange! Then, madame, we live in the same room and sleep in the same bed. It is perhaps there that we have met.
How curious it is. And what a coincidence. It is indeed possible we have met there. And perhaps even last night. But I do not recall it, dear sir.
Then, madame, I think there can be no doubt about it. We have seen each other before, and you are my own wife. Elizabeth, I have found you again.
Donald, it's you, darling. I guess that's a taste of the absurd. Hey, have you ever tried stand-up comedy?
A couple of times, yep.
I think it can be so scary being out there on stage, all alone in the spotlight.
I think most of the time comedy is kind of escapist.
Well, laughter is good for the soul. George Carlin was a comedy genius.
I can't think of a single living person that actually makes me laugh. Russell Brand, Ricky Gervais, they're pretty good.
Let's try something.
What?
Let's tell a joke, stand-up style.
Okay.
Here you go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the best day of your life, and if you don't believe me, then you can book a special one-on-one appointment to help you sort that out. But, despite your disposition and your mood, it is my honor to introduce to you a debut performance. A big hand for Jenny Tracy, all the way from the US of A.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Truth is, I've been depressed. That is until I counseled myself. And now, despite being down in the dumps and dejected, I'm as happy as a jumping bean. Whoopee! So, earlier today, somebody actually complimented my driving. Yeah, they left a little note on my windshield that said, "Parking fine." So that was nice. All right, let's give it back over to your host, Maddie Ross, all the way from Scotland. Give a big hand.
Thank you. So yesterday I was playing cards and some absolute idiot decided to glue every single card in the deck together. To be honest, I was finding it pretty hard to deal with. But on a serious note, I've spent the last 2 years searching for my ex-boyfriend's killer. But nobody will do it. That was fun. Our 10 minutes is almost up.
I feel like I'm ready for the audition now. Let's go out with the song.
There's no business like show
business. How would you do the first 2 lines?
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.
Let's try it together.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know. Okay, so let's do it for real as if we're actually on stage with the real audience, right?
Okay, let's make it big.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's no business like show business, like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing, everything the traffic will allow. Nowhere could you get that happy feeling when you are stealing that extra bow. There's no people like show people, they smile when they are low. Yesterday they told you you would not go far. That night you opened and there you are. Next day on your dressing room it hung a star. Let's go on with the show. Even with the turkey that you know will fold, you may be stranded out in the cold, but still you wouldn't change it for a stack of gold. Let's go on with the show. Let's go on